All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet Miss Strong Black Woman. Yes, to me, the 70s represents not only the feminist movement, but the civil rights movement. Women were trying to get into the career mode, and also with the Black Panther movement and everything, you know, the black feminists were trying to restore rights to the black peoples as well. To me, this piece represents all that. I noticed how I used the cotton twill and the strong, durable fabrics to represent how strong the black woman was. If you see on her screen print here, is a picture of Kathleen Cleaver. She was the first woman of actual high position of the Black Panther movement, and she did a lot for the movement itself. Also, you can see she has a flare jeans, which was a really big trend at that time. Also with the denim. Denim was becoming really popular at the time. Also, you see here a peace scarf to represent trying times of the Vietnam War at that time as well. And of course, I paid attention to the detail, try to use a little top stitching here and there on the pocket. Also the mandarin collar, and I accented with a couple buttons. And the color palette, which I used, is browns and a lot of neutral colors to represent how brown is beautiful and how black people wanted that respect and how black women wanted that respect at the time. I was raised by a single black mother, and so it means a lot to me to present this piece. And that's my presentation.
Again, your presentation was very good. I think you did a good job of explaining your concept, which is even deeper this week. I mean, you went into a very specific thing about the 70s that you were diving into. I think the jacket that you've created functions well and to incorporate that concept, and I think it looks cool and it looks 70s. The one thing that I question a bit is I don't know if there's that much else there that you've crafted. I mean, I like the way that you've put them together, but a t-shirt, whereas last week we were seeing a full dress and things that you would built, you know, yourself, was cool. But I think the usage of the iconography on the t-shirt is neat, except that I'm not quite sure why the text is backwards on it. But maybe that's something. Overall, I like what you've done here. I was more impressed last week.
Well, Henry, I think that you are coming into this week in the most difficult position out of anyone because we were just so blown away by you in the last episode that we have these really inflated expectations of you. But in my mind, you did come through. I really liked the way that you went in detail and explained where all of you got all your ideas from and your inspiration. The only little bit of critique here. Last time you came with some visuals on where your inspiration came from. I really liked that. It might have been nice to see that again. But then you brought your sketch, and maybe there's a little bit of 70s thing going there. But really, I liked that you had visuals for inspiration, so we could literally see where you were coming from. I think that the jacket that you put together, that you designed and constructed, is executed very well. It looks like there's a ton of detail on there. From my eye, I can't see any stitches out of place, and I think that it's beautiful. I completely see the connection and the reflection back to the 70s. And this looks like a piece that could be worn today. This looks like a piece that would be sold in the mall, or one of my friends could be wearing. Excellent job.
Right on, Charles. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you'd have to be a Olympic pole vault contender to get any higher than the bar you set last week. But I think that I'm in love with the concept that you brought this week. I think it's great to bring something that is that has a lot of emotion tied to it, but is personally important to you. I like to see that brought into work. There are parts about the fashion that I like. To me, I'm having a little trouble mixing them because with the shirt, I guess that's sort of the revival. I'm struggling with it, but I see it. I can see that that's the modern day. The jacket looks like something that Michael Jackson would wear if he was joining UPS or something. I don't know. It's not my personal style, but I do agree with Kate that it has an impeccable sense of craft to it, and there's something about it that's interesting. I think it's the belt. So personally, love your presentation again. Love the concept behind it, and am warmly receptive to the overall end result. I would be really unhappy if you don't make it again next week. But I'm hoping next week to see something more in line with the caliber we saw last week.